Hello, fellow humans. Once again, I'm sitting here trying desperately to absorb some more positive information in the background while my head does its spin. And a few things dawned on me. Information I was feeding my brain is about chakras. And we're talking about indigo children and da-da-da. I'm pretty sure that I believe that I was born into this world in that higher energetic state. I am a sensory being. And I got beat down into the lower chakras. This chakra system actually is not unlike Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's just a more ancient description of the energy, our souls. So I believe my soul was born into this world in those upper regions. You know, our purple, indigo, blue, me and blue, my voice. And I got shoved way down into my root chakra. I actually have had Reiki a couple of times. A friend of mine and her husband worked on me for a very long time once. And she said that my root chakra was wide open and all of the rest of my chakras were like shut tight. And that makes a lot of sense. It really does make an immense amount of sense. And these things that we can figure out about ourselves, if we sit in ourselves and just get to know ourselves, getting to know yourself is uncomfortable. Especially in a world that puts all of these different, variations out there for you to choose from. It's like, no, I never liked labels. When I was a teenager, and this is actually what brought me here to the recording, I realized when I was 15, I trained as a peer support, and it's had a huge impact on my life. It really, honestly, I think is part of the process that I go through when I do these streams of consciousness. There's an exercise, a therapeutic tool called empty chair, and I learned this. In the process of learning this, I realized that I had already developed it in myself. And I shared something profound and traumatic, and it got me my first therapy. So this empty chair exercise is something that I have carried with me through my life. This right now, what I am doing is literally an empty chair exercise. I am speaking to somebody, you, who isn't there, working through what I'm trying to work through, because if I leave it in my head, it's just like everything's in a blender. I have to process the information, right? That's how it becomes knowledge. Experience with the information. We have a lot of things confused in our society. And we have literally raised possibly now 2 generations on complete fantasy, on the poppycock that human brains make up, rather than the actual physical realities of what it means to be a Homo sapien. These creatures that inhabit a planet in ecosystems. We inhabit a planet in a solar system, in a galaxy, in a universe. And we all wear butterfly wings. And it's amazing when you sit with yourself and through the discomforts and you think about why they're uncomfortable. So much that I find uncomfortable about myself is not because I find it uncomfortable about me. It's because there are things about me that everyone else around me has told me are uncomfortable. For them. Not necessarily for me. When I was a teenager, I often wondered if the abuses that I suffered at the hands of other children and other body parts, because of sexual liberation and freedom without responsibility, or thinking at all about the fact that kids don't understand that if just because it's something that they enjoy doesn't mean that everybody enjoys it. They don't get it. Kids don't get it. They see things only from their perspective. And as we get older, we're supposed to be able to open that up, but we haven't. We've shut it down with too many options because, yes, there are options for who we are as individuals on every level. That is why more ancient traditions, before all of this noodle twisting and interference, other cultures actually leave children to be children. And then in that moment of awakening, spiritual quests, think about when those things happen. What are we doing? We're not less indoctrinating. We're over indoctrinating. We're confusing the shit out of everything. And this goes beyond our sex or gender or race or religion or, what we need to get down to is personal ethics. What's actually really important at the end of the day? Does it matter if I look at somebody and don't understand how they express themselves sexually, if I have absolutely zero interest in them in that way? Why is that the most important denominator of our identities? I thought it was supposed to be the other way around. I'm going to keep saying that because I have been painfully confused by how misdirected all of these rights movements have been throughout my life. And when you go back and you look at why it is, it's because these rights movements got infected very, very early with the system, via marketing. I beg people to watch a mini-series by a man named Adam Curtis called Century of the Self, and try to watch it very objectively. Pull yourself outside of it all as an objective observer of human behavior and manipulation and the drastic changes in our culture in less than 100 years. This is really not at all about sex. It's about control and manipulation. And we have to get our amygdalas back. We really do. So that we can start, accessing our prefrontal cortex. Those are my thoughts this drizzly morning. Thanks for listening. narrative bullshit. It's propaganda.